Well, look at this. The original Tradewinds, minus Carmen, rest his soul, okay, as well as Scott Apostolico. I couldn't get all the syllables in. Bob Biondi, okay, Dave Caserta, and Malatesta brothers, John and Dave. Cousins. You guys do look alike. Yeah.
And we forgot one other person. That was Walt Matei.
Walt Matei was the sax guy.
He was the first sax player, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then who picked up the sax after him? Was it? Okay.
Did someone drop one?
Could have been. Could have been. I didn't hear a sound, but could have been.
I can give you some background on how the band started.
Okay.
It was Carmen Poppy's band, who of course passed away. At the time, he was playing under Carmen and the Larks.
Up into the sky, the dark autumn breeze, overnight is passing by.
Yes.
And he was using two other pickup guys just to play jobs. One of the musicians told him about me, and Carmen and I only lived like 4 blocks apart. So he asked me to play the job with him, and after that job he said, why don't you just stay and play all the jobs, which of course I did. So I was the first full-time person with Carmen and the Larks.
I think the Larks made a record. Was that both of you?
No,
for that
was
or
just Carmen.
Just Carmen, okay.
Who made the record. Of course, he has since passed. And after we were playing for a while, we needed a drummer. So I suggested John. So John came into the band full time, and then we needed a sax player, and John knew Walt Matei. So Walt Matei started playing, and that was the nucleus of the first Carmen and the Larks.
The first incarnation.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we played a job on Maryland Avenue, and we got to the job, and on the windows it said, the Tradewinds tonight. So when we walked in, we said, who in the heck are the Tradewinds? That's not what we said, but that's what we're going to say here. And he said, I couldn't think of your name, so I made up one. And of course, that was the Tradewinds. And after that, we said, it's a pretty good name.
And you kept that name until what year?
We kept that name until, when did the band quit, Bobby?
94.
94 until 1994.
So
I quit in 79.
Okay.
Was my last job.
And you started in 63?
No, I started in 59.
59.
I was a sophomore in Louisiana.
Okay.
My mother used to we were playing in bars in Jersey. My mother used to put talcum powder in my hair so that I would look older, and it never washed out.
She did a great job. She did a great job. Did all of you go to Slazing-Adam?
I did. I went to Brown's.
Right.
Okay.
I was a mixed bag, half of Sally's and half of Brown's. So.
Did you go to
Well,
Brown's?
yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Wilmington boys, though.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Wilmington boys, yay.
Not all of them.
Except for Bobby.
Kennett Square.
Pennsylvania.
That's just across the line. Just across the line.
It's another world over there.
Easy jump. Kennett actually is beginning to really do a lot of music, so you can applaud them. They're coming out of the old ages. Yeah. So let's see. That first gig on Maryland Avenue, what was the bar?
It was a teen club. Anybody remember it?
Oh, wow. Maryland Avenue. The only place I knew was 5 Points on Maryland Avenue.
No.
But I don't think that was it.
It was in a shopping center is all I remember.
Okay. And the
going way
name
back.
escapes us. Yeah, absolutely.
Way back.
Well, when I first encountered you guys, I saw this van, and I saw a license plate that said drummer. So
Drum one.
Drum one. So I was just coming out of Casapoulas in Ellesmere, which is where everybody should go. And I turned right around and said to this guy, hey, are you a musician? And he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, I saw your license plate, introduced myself, and told him to go ask Lou. He knew who I was. And I'm so glad that we found you. So glad that we got that started. Now, I also noticed another license plate coming in. Okay, whose guitar?
We got them at the same time,
Right.
1975.
Guitar and
Drum.
one.
Right.
Well, my license plate changed quite a bit because I decided, rather than living in the cold, frigid north, I would move south
Right.
to the South Carolina area, right outside of Myrtle Beach.
Nice.
And so whatever is on that Beamer now, I have no idea.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I got guitar plate in 75, the first day that you could get 6 letters on a plate.
Nice.
I was in line at 8
Nice.
o'clock at the motor vehicle.
The amount of love and respect that you guys have for each other and for what you did, you know, the band, is incredibly impressive. In the corner, there's a drum set. Okay? Does anybody still play?
I think we all still
We all do.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. That's amazing. That's amazing. It's who you are, you know. You're musicians. It's who you are. And somebody said you had about 1,000 performances that they had counted. Was that you, Dave?
We had 16 and a half years I was with them. Bobby used to be our bookkeeper.
Yeah.
We had 1,067 weddings.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know how total.
Wow.
I have no idea.
That's crazy impressive. So anybody who got married in Wilmington over that 20-year period knows who the heck you are.
Unfortunately, most of them are not married anymore.
Oh, jeez.
Please say you love me. Please.
Talk a little bit about Carmen. I know what a beautiful voice. And I relate him to the era when everybody wore a tux or everybody wore a suit.
We all did.
We did too.
Yeah,
We did too.
that was the uniform of the day, so to speak. And if you look at any of these old photos, there's one of Carmen's in his Nehru jacket, which is kind of cool.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a good looking man, too. What?
Carmen was a good guy, easygoing.
He was an excellent singer, and I think that's right after the Tradewinds got out of the, well, not quite out of the record business, but we, in the beginning, we started out as a dance band. And Carmen's idea was to create dance songs. And from the first note we did was, well, Wildwood Twist,
Yeah.
guys. And that was all about the twist.
Hey, come to the door of Wildwood. We're gonna have a time.
And then the second one we followed up with was the Snakes. And we had all these girls going around clapping their hands and
My
acting
sisters
like
went to the studio.
and snake dancing to the audience, which was kind of cool. And then the last one that we did that was actually a dance, I guess, was Abba Dabba Doo.
Clap your hands.
Which you can even find on the internet today, and it's Flintstones dancing. So it was kind of interesting that that's how we evolved. We started out, wow, years ago up in recording out of Philly, right? And I wanted to master reels here.
Oh my goodness.
So I wanted us to look at it.
What-
And that's the days before, you know, when you went to get a demo, it would come out like this. And these are made of metal, and it's an acetate, so that, you know, when you're cutting a disc, you're actually cutting grooves in a record.
Wow.
So that's back in those days. So all our demos were,
This is heavier than a normal record.
yeah, it's kind of
You can
cool.
see
in a
it's
way.
thick.
Yeah. And from this, they make
Yeah.
a mother, and then the mother goes to the pressing plant, and then they make records.
Okay, and then they make all those records.
And this would be a great time to bring up Walt. Walt, let me tell you, besides being a sax player, he was a sort of prankster. So he was always pulling a prank on somebody, right, Dave? So when we were in the studio, and there was a photo of him here, he was writing these cue cards down, and it was like the song where they say more cowbell. Well, he wrote this down, more drums, and he holds this sign up so that to try to freak me out because I was doing a drum overdub, and Frank Virtue standing right alongside and said, "What the hell are you doing?"
Right. I love it.
You know, and I'm trying to not laugh and get the takedown, and it was.
Yes.
So he was always pulling, but I fixed him. I got even with him along. A few years later, he got a new car. My key actually fit that car.
Oh, boy.
And so I went and moved it on him, and he said, "Let me show you my new car." Well, it wasn't there where he thought it was. He freaked out about it.
I love it. He earned
Yeah,
it.
it was
huh?
good. He was a great guy. Really miss that guy. He was
That's
pretty cool.
cool. That's cool. Now, was he a Sally's guy?
He was a Sally's
Sally's.
guy,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Okay. How many records did you make?
Dave, you want to go on a number? Because,
7, I think.
yeah, I was with the first 4 or 5 that went out. And then
Okay.
these guys,
What
the
did
rest of
came
them,
in?
yeah.
Just 4.
You came in on what, Gobi?
Gobi,
Desert woman's next name is Gobi. Gobi, Gobi, Gobi. Desert
miniskirt.
miniskirt, say you're mine. Miniskirt, look so fine.
Hey, little
Hey,
girl.
little girl.
Hey, little girl, what do you make her cry?
Down to the seashore.
Down to the seashore, everybody going down to the seashore. Everybody going down to the seashore.
Yeah. Was there one after that?
Blue Heart, wasn't there something?
Blue Heart, yeah.
Blue Heart.
His blue heart is so sad.
Okay.
Then
Super.
after that, the band evolved a little bit.
Yeah.
John left for what, military.
Yeah, I had to go
And
into
then
service.
Walt left. And then Dave came in.
And I just got out of the military.
So Dave came in the band.
Thanks for covering me.
About what, 6 months,
Right.
6 months later, Bobby.
Bobby came
Right.
6 months after me. We were
Okay.
a 3-piece band.
Yeah. And then Bobby came in, of course, we were 4, and that's the way it went for what, 16 or 17 years,
Wow.
Yeah.
till
Wow.
Harmon
We
passed.
turned into a wedding band thanks to Bobby Piani.
Oh, yes.
Bob Piani,
Bobby
okay.
Piani.
Piani's restaurants.
We
Yeah.
were playing in a bar. We were making $90 a piece for 6 nights. And Bobby says, "Can you play this wedding for me at Bellevue on a Saturday afternoon?" We said, "Sure." At Carmen's. That's your pet, Peggy. We played that job. He handed us $400. And Carmen came over and gave us each $100. And I said to Carmen, "What the hell are we doing in a bar?"
Right. Right.
And that's when we really started
Made a
thinking about
switch.
weddings.
That's great. That's great. And like you said, not everybody, there may be some people who aren't here anymore, but everybody will remember you if they were, if you played their weddings.
On New Year's, we
Absolutely.
never gave a price. We used to go out for bid in March. The highest bid got us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's smart business. Now, did that come from Carmen's wife, who I know?
No,
No.
that came from us.
Okay.
We said, let's bid this thing.
There you go. Yeah. Do they really want us? That's
Yeah.
the
We've got
question.
a couple of businessmen here.
Gotcha.
You know what else was really interesting? It was the instrumentation in the band. Dave, you didn't have a bass player when you were in.
No, that's it.
Right, okay, well-
Matter of fact, Bobby didn't play bass, but he picked it up
Wow.
and started playing because he
All right,
recognized
Bobby.
it
He's a
too.
sax player.
All the rock and roll bands
Yeah, you had
and
that.
all the dance bands had a bass player,
Right.
except for us. We really didn't. We had this magic instrument called an accordobox. And I don't even know anybody that has one.
No.
Now,
But,
I want you to talk about that. Somewhere there's a picture of it.
Yeah,
I think
it's,
here on this
um,
wonderful assortment of
right,
It's all
pictures.
over. It doesn't go in and out.
Right,
Right.
and it's an electronic, I guess, organ in a accordion
How did I
configuration.
sound when it worked?
Yeah.
When it worked. Like,
Well,
like-
this opened a kind of slick door for drummers because we didn't have a bass player. We really had to get what we call a backline going, which is a groove set up usually by the bass player, which we didn't have one. So we had Dave and we had me, we're the backline.
Right.
And same with, so what happened is, I said, well, how are we going to get this driving beat going? So most of the songs that I played on were a running drum solo from the time we started the song to the time we ended. But it can be complicated. It had to really lay down the bottom groove, but it had to do all the fill. So here I was at 17 years old, this kid coming out of high school, and wailing away on the drums in a recording studio. And I said, wow, man, this is great.
Said,
It's
"I
like
made it."
Coolest thing.
blow
Oh
on
my
your
God.
knuckles, yeah.
Whoever gets that opportunity. And Dave and I had to work those out because we were it,
Right.
you know. And if the band was going to sound good, we had to do it, you know.
Got ya.
Walt couldn't do it. He was on a saxophone, and the quarterbox just did a chord fill.
Well, if any of your
No.
fans want to get hold of a record, Music Stack has Wildwood Twist for
Yeah.
$50.
Right.
You know, that's a long way from what it cost at Woolworths when,
Right.
you know, they were first being distributed.
Geez, I got about 50 copies of them.
Yeah, you've got a side business coming, yes.
There's a funny story with Bob when we first started with bass. We played a party, and in back of where Bob was playing was about 200 glasses on glass shelves that were only 4 inches wide.
Uh-oh.
You finish it up on.
I finished, we were playing a wedding down in Maryland. Was it Maryland?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Madison House.
Yeah. And I was set up my big bass amp next to the bar, and on it there were glass shelves with glasses on them turned upside down. And we're playing, had it cranked up pretty good, and I kept hearing these crashing noises.
And then one big crash.
Glasses were dancing off from the rumble from the bass amp. And it would crash, and
Bartender wasn't happy.
no, he wasn't
I'll
happy.
betcha.
Broke all his glasses.
Oh, my goodness. That's rock and roll, folks, right?
Is that the same place you sat in the cake?
You don't have to bring that up.
He backed into the wedding cake. The stage was so small, and they had the cake on the stage.
Yeah.
He backs into it.
Sat in it?
Yeah, he's
Bobby
got a black
backed up
tux
the-
on, and the back's all white,
God.
glistening. Remember, we turned it around. We turned it around.
Yeah, left a nice impression in there, and
I guess you did.
probably not appreciated so much.
We got out of there fast.
Wow. So the quarterbox, let me get this clear. It looks like an accordion, but it doesn't actually expand.
yeah.
It will if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
You
but
can
don't
Okay.
have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is it different from an accordion?
Sounds like an organ.
Okay,
It doesn't have that tinny sound.
oh, gotcha, okay. Look, I'd like to hear it. I would like to hear that one. Who are your inspirations, guys?
My
That's a
cousin.
good question.
My cousin. He's my inspiration.
John.
You mean with music?
I'll kick it off. I mean, I joined the band in '84 when Carmen went in for a kidney transplant. And I knew Carmen through the family, he was related to me. But an inspiration of mine at that young age, I was 20, 21, and seeing Carmen when he came back and being healthy, he played for many more years after that. But he was just amazing in terms of someone coming up, requesting a song, he'd, kick it out. Hardly ever said no to a request.
Wow,
And seeing that type of dedication, wanting to, fulfill the audience, that's, just getting that type of pleasure out. That I looked up to that at an early age and tried to carry that through
That's
the rest
neat.
of my playing career. You know.
Right, so he continues to inspire you.
He continues to inspire
And how
me.
about Dave? Does he continue?
Dave does too,
Okay,
yeah.
just wanted to check. Just wanted to check. Oh, goodness. Now, what other instruments do you guys play?
I play keys now
Okay.
more than I play drums. So, in
Okay.
fact, when somebody said, "Can you play drums?" and I said, "I don't know. I got to find out." After playing them so many years, but it comes back. It's just not as good as it used to be.
I think your audience will be thrilled to see you. So,
Bobby's a double instrument.
Bobby plays too.
what,
Well, I started off on saxophone when I came with you guys in October of 1966. And a couple years later, well, basically, I was playing saxophone in a rock band, and they're kind of drowning me out a lot. So if I didn't have a microphone, and I said I have to even things up here a little bit, so I borrowed a bass from a friend and took it into this establishment we were playing. We had go-go girls in cages and all. And I
in Wilmington, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that
I
was,
started then playing on the bass. I mean, I just barely knew the names of the strings. But they were not paying attention to what I was doing.
got
Had some
you.
other entertainment going on.
Bobby's a natural with music, and you play the trumpet.
Play trumpet.
Not as well as you do.
Any instrument, though, that's just amazing that you can jump from one to the
the
other.
radio.
You heard me play
The
drums.
I've
XM.
heard it, yeah.
You play XM and AM?
Yeah, I play bucks.
Go, Mr. Caserta. That is cool.
We played for Joe Biden one time, who brought Ed Kennedy in. And, well, Dave, you.
Oh, I loved it. That was at the time he had just had an accident up in Massachusetts. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Chappaquiddick.
Next song up was Bridge Over Troubled Water. The audience went crazy.
That's good.
He didn't like it one bit. Oh, you know what? It was just perfect. That was just,
Oh, my goodness.
boy, was he embarrassed.
That's great. Well, how far away did you guys go? Where did you travel to play?
Baltimore, Atlantic City.
We didn't go far.
Not that far.
Nah.
Market Street.
We were all married with kids. It was, you know,
And
we could have done a lot of stuff. But
We were booked almost 2 years in advance, so you
And
didn't have to move.
did you have a day job? Did all you guys
Oh,
continue
yeah.
with day jobs? That's
Actually, Dave and
amazing.
I worked at the same place for a
For a
while.
while, then I quit, started my own business, and I ran that for 41 years, and Dave ran his own
I had a
business.
couple of gas stations,
Oh, my
which I
goodness.
never was at because I was too tired.
I was wondering when you could have slept. Yeah, that's
We
crazy. Yeah,
And didn't sleep for many years after we left the band.
I'll betcha.
We actually played a couple of TV shows. I guess Grady and Hurst was.
We did Radiant Horse, we did
And,
Buddy Dean in Baltimore.
Oh, Buddy Dean
Buddy
show.
Dean.
Got to tell you about Buddy Dean show. The way the set was set up, they had to dance, sing in the same studio that they had the newscast. And all they did was just turn the cameras around. So they wanted to shoot the news, they just spun the cameras around. Because the cameras in those days were monstrous. So while they were doing the newscast, I was unpacking my drums because they had them all set up. So I had a trap case where you put the snare drum in and the cymbals in. Well, a cymbal slipped out of my hand during the middle of their newscast and went down into that. And the floor director came over and reamed our butts and said, out because I had just ruined their newscast.
Oh, my goodness.
I do remember that day pretty well.
That's great. That's great. What is the worst thing that ever happened when you guys were out playing?
We missed the job.
We missed the job, yeah.
Did you have,
No, it was the wrong date.
oh,
We
okay.
were
It
given the
was
wrong
an
date.
AM PM deal. It was an after prom party for a school over in Jersey. We got there 24 hours late.
Oh, my
Went
goodness.
down to the local diner and asked him where he ate. He said that was last night, so we had breakfast.
One of the worst weekends we ever had is we played a dance on Friday night, and then we played an after prom party. And next day was Saturday, we played a wedding in the afternoon. We played another party Saturday night, and then an after prom party on Sunday, and finished up at the Italian American Club on
yeah.
Sunday.
You guys should
That was a
still be
schedule.
tired. You should still be
Well,
tired.
that's how we did 167 weddings. We played like 3 in a row.
Like,
People
Friday,
would call
Saturday, and
for
Sunday.
a Saturday wedding. Peggy would say, "We're booked." He says, "How about Sunday?" She says, "No, we're not booked." They have it on a Sunday. And that's how we got so many Sunday weddings.
wow.
And you-
They knew they
Right?
wanted you. They knew they wanted you.
We
That's-
played in
that's pretty
Wilmington once, and we had to be in Pennsylvania on Route 30. Like 45 minutes later, we said, "There's no way we can get there." When they booked it, they said, it was a party for the state police. They said, "We'll get you there." So they picked us up. Wilmington police got us to Limestone Road. The Pennsylvania state troopers picked us up. They said,
80 mile an hour.
80 miles an hour to
Wow.
Lancaster almost.
And this was cool. I hope my Jeep can go that fast.
Now, where did you get all this musical ability? Did your parents play?
It came
Not
from
mine.
Italy.
Mine did.
My family was, my dad was a professional pianist, so.
Okay.
He kind of inspired us all.
Wow. Did they
Yeah.
sing? Did your parents sing too?
You didn't want to hear my dad sing, and you didn't want to hear me sing, so that was,
Okay, back to the piano.
but
Got
my
it.
brother Mike sings pretty well, and my brother Jim.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother Raj, and a big family, so I gotta
There you
give
go.
him some kudos there.
Cool.
Yeah.
But my dad actually played on WDEL back in the day when WDEL needed a pianist to do their soap opera.
Wow. Okay.
And they would
He did
play
all
on
the
it. If
background.
you Google Thomas Malatesta, you'll find him in the archives under WDEL
How about
as a
that?
pianist. And that's really wild back in those days.
I got stuck with a bass drum in 4th grade. I went to Lohr School, and we had to pick an instrument.
Yeah, cool.
When my turn came, they had a wood block, a triangle, and a bass drum. So I picked a bass drum. That's how I got started. And after a couple months, Mr. Martin, he called my mother and said, "You should get this boy some lessons." And by 5th grade, I was playing in the orchestra. I went to Knowles.
Yeah, sure.
Music store, second floor.
Second floor, that was where all the instruments came
Yeah.
from back in the day.
And that's how I got started, beating on a bass drum.
Was that in Wilmington? Was that
Yeah.
downtown?
Yeah.
It was on Shipley Street, wasn't it?
Shipley Street.
Okay.
Between 5th and 6th.
That was the only place to go.
Yeah.
It was the only place to
And
go.
you know what was else was up on that second floor was the union headquarters for the musicians union.
They were all over.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Believe it or not, yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
wow.
Wow.
We only joined it to get our Blue Cross. Remember, Dave?
Yeah.
To get your Blue Cross?
Well, our union had, union, it was the worst union in the world. When we used to play bars in Chester, they would card us. And if you didn't have a union card, you had to pay up. In Wilmington, no.
You're right.
We were playing in Jersey, and
Yeah.
the union approached us and said, "You guys in the union?" We said, "No." They said, "Are you playing here next week?" We said, "Yeah, we're at this club next week." They said, "If you're not in the union, you're not going to find your cars when you leave."
Wow.
Guy
So we
told-
joined
Wow.
that week.
Guy told me to leave them boxes in your car. They were my drums and traps. Leave them boxes in that car.
Oh, man.
$25 a piece we had to give this guy.
Yeah.
And he gave us
That
a
was
receipt.
another place.
He gave you a receipt. And he gave you a card? Yeah. Gave you a
Yeah,
card.
too.
Wow. Scott, your parents performers or
No, they weren't
musicians?
performers, but they had a little Magnus chord organ at their home, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
started playing on that by year when I was like 3 or 4 years old. and started taking lessons with my cousin when I was about 8,
Okay.
and then took keyboard lessons with the Phillies organist Paul Richardson
Oh, yes.
for years, and played in St. John the Beloved organist for years, and so it sort of just came natural to me, and something I was interested in.
Got it. Got it. It was in your blood, as the saying goes. As the saying goes.
You know, actually, our first manager, official manager, I guess Dudley Henriquez.
Dudley.
Yeah, he was part of the Wilmington Musicians Union, I thought, because his wife was Sarah Swatlow, if my memory serves me right, and I think she was a violinist in the Wilmington Orchestra
Whoa. Okay.
back in the day.
Plus, they owned all the movies in New
Yeah.
York, all the Translux
Theaters.
theaters. That's why the record, one of the records is on the Translux label.
I'll be
Right.
darned. How many different labels did you guys record?
Let's see, there was Translux, Danton,
Then we
Brandywine.
started our own record company. That was Brandywine Records.
That's
So we
so
owned
cool.
the Tradewinds owned
Right.
that label.
That's so cool. You guys didn't miss a chance to expand in a way that would benefit you and make your life easier.
Yes, we did. We
Tried.
missed a chance.
Yeah.
With that song, the Freddie Canning.
Yeah,
Won it.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
we missed
Okay.
our chance.
Which song was it?
Wild Wood Twist.
Yeah. Was it
Okay.
Wild Twister? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Wild Wood Twist.
Yeah.
We met Tony Mamarella, who was a producer for Dick Clark's show.
Okay.
And he said, we want the record, we'll pay you $4,000 for the Wildwood Twist, but we're gonna have Freddie Cannon do it because we've got the money in him, and we're not interested in financing another band.
And you guys said, no, that's ours.
We're gonna do it ourselves.
There you go. There you go.
How about the
So whether that
Crocodile
was a
Rock?
mistake or
Yeah.
not, I don't know.
We wrote a song for a candidate that was played all over the radio. 2 weeks later, Elton John brings out the Crocodile Rock with just a crocodile track on his redone. Is that a coincidence or what? Everybody says we stole it. No,
Uh-oh.
somebody brought that to him.
Right,
It's amazing.
right. Just absolutely amazing. Yeah, I've heard stories like that about Chubby Checker and the Twist and whatever.
He
The
was
same-
at Virtue Studios at
Yeah.
one time.
We
We actually met him, and I had no clue as to who he was
Right?
at the time because we were going up to pick up our demos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And said, "Who the heck is that in there?" "Oh, that's Chubby Checker." "Okay, who's that?" He told me he worked at a fish market. And I said, "Really?" And there he was.
We used to back up little Anthony in the Imperial at the Hotel DuPont whenever he came there. Went to see him in Baltimore a couple years ago.
And when you saw
He didn't
him.
remember us, but
Oh, okay.
we remembered him.
Of course, of course. And he's still playing. That's,
yeah.
that's
He was
crazy.
more interested where the food was when we were in Baltimore. Where's the food? Where's the food?
Oh, gee.
Hey, that's on everybody's mind.
We all have our priorities, said the girl with hips. Yeah, definitely.
I have a complete set of silverware in my trap case. Because when you play weddings,
Yeah, right.
you never get the silver.
Definitely cut that part out.
I remember that.
Oh, no, that,
He says,
I love that.
I need a fork. I said, I got 5 over there.
Dave, tell him the bubble story.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
The
Come on,
bubble,
come on.
there's a hall up on the Philadelphia Pike. Forget the name of it. It was a catering hall. Pal, the guy's name was. And he would make us come through the back door because he didn't want us to scratch his
You got brand new doors.
So on break one day, Dave and I are sitting out at this fountain he had. Big fountain.
One on
Huge.
each side.
Dave looked at me and I looked at him and says, what are we gonna do with this? We gotta do something. He says, let's go across to the Wawa and get some detergent.
Joy.
whatever. it was.
Liquid joy. Oh,
We went
no.
over there and we poured it in there.
You brought a joy to the.
Oh, you should have seen the
bottles.
bubbles coming out. So we go back on break. Those two are back inside, and I said, Carmen, let's play Tiny Bubbles. It seemed like a perfect time, and we start playing it. And this guy come running through the doors. Look at my fountain. The bubbles were all over the lobby. We played 3 months later, and there were still bubbles in that fountain.
Oh, my goodness.
He hasn't figured it out yet.
Oh, my goodness. But
that was funny.
you had a little bit of satisfaction.
Oh, yeah.
How sweet it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Every time I say, that people ask me, who's gone in this year? Who's going to be inducted into the Delaware Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And when I say the Tradewinds, they go, oh, really? Oh, man, they are such a great dance band. I'm telling you, 2/3 of the audience is going to be there to see you guys.
I hope so.
Yes. I want to talk a little bit about some of these fabulous photos here. This one I really love. A bunch of cool guys with the shiny shirts.
That was our nightclub stuff.
Your nightclub outfits.
Right.
Okay, and what nightclubs did you play?
Well, they weren't nightclubs. They were bars with
Bars.
girls behind dancing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, we in the '60s, the late '60s, there really wasn't clubs, right?
No, they were.
There were bars.
There was like the Crescendo. Well, here's the old papers here.
Yeah.
The Crescendo, the
Crescendo, yeah.
Cafe Continental.
Yeah.
Right.
oh, Cafe Continental, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
they
that
were the
name.
locals.
Yeah, but people were there,
Ronnie's Swingers Lounge.
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
T-bar,
The T-Bar?
T-bar, the Anvil Inn.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Berlin was a big one.
Yeah.
What was your favorite place to play?
The Hotel DuPont. The food was terrific.
And you had,
Acoustics were great. Yeah, it
Okay.
really was.
Yeah,
And
that was
plus
a great
parked,
place.
you parked right off the stage and got your equipment in. It was like, what, 20 feet to get in and you're on stage.
beats the hell out of going through
Oh
the
my
back
gosh,
door.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a Hotel DuPont picture right
Yeah.
there.
Let's see.
But that's where the Mater D stole my jacket.
What?
Yeah, I lost my tuck jacket there.
Tony got your
He
thing?
liked
Oh,
the,
the Mater D had it on, yeah.
he liked the look, or it was his size,
It
or,
was his size.
now, it
It
was
was
the,
Tony Graziano, wasn't it?
Oh, they had
And that
so
was-
many of them there.
was it this one, the gold ones?
No, the
Okay.
black one.
Okay, but that's obviously Hotel
Yeah, well,
DuPont.
those gold ones we had made. We had a blue
That
one.
was 73
And a gold.
or something.
1973, okay. Yeah, the way you have archived your stuff is just amazing. You've got everything marked and labeled and whatever. Now, I do see a couple of Wham's top 30 lists over there.
Right, here, let me grab one of those for you.
Gobi got up to number 8.
Didn't it? Oh,
I
you
got
got
that
one of those?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the date is.
I think this one was the Wallet Cliff. You ready?
Look at the date up there.
February 23rd, 1963. No, this is a snake.
Yeah.
Okay,
So the snake made it to
15.
15. And this one is 67, so it's got to
That's
have been,
Flyer. It's
That
not-
was
it's not
yeah.
one.
67 had to be Gobi or what?
I wasn't on Gobi.
I don't know.
I'm going to see that one.
It's got to be on
Were you
here.
on Gobi?
There's no reason. to
Gobi's
put
an
this in.
unusual name. Where did that
Desert.
come from?
Yeah.
Well, the song, if you
Desert.
listen to it,
Okay,
when we were doing it, we didn't have a name, and somebody
What?
said,
Yeah. One thing you should take note about these Wham's list. Number one, Wham's disc jockeys really supported the local entertainment.
yes,
They were really great at making sure that the local bands had a shot.
that they
And
got heard.
they gave us a lot of dates at their record house. I mean, it was a win-win for everybody, but.
Right,
We used to play the hops for High Lit too. And,
Jerry Blavin.
Jerry
yeah, Jerry
Blavin.
Blavin, Philadelphia. A lot of times we traveled with Lou Cass to go to the hops.
there you go.
Yeah, but
Very
one of the, in fact, there's a photo here of Lee Davis.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if you remember Lee Davis.
Wham's
or
radio
not.
guy, yeah.
Wham's radio guy.
Is that him?
Yeah, right here.
Everybody
He was
liked
one of
him.
our stuff, yeah.
There you
Give a
go.
Kudo. Thanks, Lee. But one thing you should notice about these charts is that there's all different genres back in those years. It wasn't like, oh, this is R&B or this is country, this is, everybody was together. So when you got to be like number 15 on a chart, you were number 15 against Frank Sinatra.
Right.
You were number 15 against Johnny Cash.
Right.
You know, Martha and the Vandellas, you know, so all those genres were together.
Yes.
So, you know.
So you definitely can blow on your
yeah,
knuckles
you know,
again.
It was a
yeah.
hard stunt to do.
That
back
was
in
a-
those days.
That was-
Peggy Poppity set up most of the things that we were doing for any of the weddings and a lot
On
of the
the chart
dances.
with the Beatles,
She used
man.
Right,
to
yeah.
run the
You know,
books.
yeah, when you're up against
Yeah.
the big guns
Yeah, you made it.
and you shine a little bit, even in a small area.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty darn good.
That's beyond darn good. That's amazing, almost.
Yeah, Gobi went to 10.
Then went to
Okay.
10, okay.
And on that, and do you know who was in front of us? The Supremes, Mitch Ryder, Spencer Davis Group, Johnny Rivers, the Rolling Stones, the Fifth Dimension, and the Young Rascals.
Dave, who was behind you?
Yeah, there's the one. That's one.
Oh.
Who were you ahead of? Yeah.
Go the other direction. Go the other
Marvin Gaye,
There you go.
Yeah, Marvin
Hermits,
Gaye.
Hermits, The Loving Spoonful, Neil Diamond, Elvis Presley.
Oh, man.
Holy crap.
You guys rated. Yes,
Beatles.
absolutely.
The Beatles were at 19 with Penny Lane.
Oh, my goodness.
You gotta be
Smoked
kidding
them
me.
that week.
Mondays, yeah, you know what, it probably came out, that was the first week. Oh, God.
Well, I see one here
26.
advertising you at the W.T. Grant Midway Shopping Center store.
We opened that store,
Oh,
we
we
laid
opened
on
a lot
top
of
of a
stores.
tractor trailer.
Oh, my goodness. I see the Tradewinds, and
Yeah.
underneath you, I see Teddy and the Continentals.
Heading the Continental.
Yeah.
We opened Happy Harry's, remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
On the
that's
back of
fun.
A flatbed.
Oh,
The bad
that's-
part, the guy was driving too fast.
The one I remember, and this was probably the first tractor trailer a gig that we ever had, if you want to call it.
Right?
It was the top of a semi, so it wasn't a flatbed. And I can't remember which shopping center it was, but Carmen had set up his Silvertone organ up on top of that thing.
Neat.
And a kid was up there, you know, was playing along, and it was so wobbly that I was like rocking on my drum trim, you know, because that's how wobbly the top was. Well, Walt and Carmen decided to stand on top of that Silvertone organ,
On top of the trailer.
on top of that trailer, and it's rocking like crazy. And I said, "Holy crap, you guys out of your mind?" But you know,
It was great
all
for the show.
It was the show.
Yes.
We played for Jerry Lavitt in Ocean City,
Right.
and my drums kept moving, right?
Yeah.
Carmen and Dave both put their foot on the rim to hold it while I played, and you could see them doing this. Every time
Wow.
I hit
Every time you kicked it,
was hit the
boom.
bass drum. Yeah, they were,
Wow.
But at
What
least
kind
they
of
were in
platform
unison.
were you on? What kind of platform?
A flatbed truck.
Okay.
And they would back it in for a stage, and
Right.
Oh, wow.
and if you ever been on one, the wood is not, you know, it's not
Right,
flat.
yeah.
Right. Right.
It's
Now,
not-
we would never starve on any job because
After
Bobby
that-
would always have a bucket of Kentucky
After
Fried
that, I always
Chicken.
carried a rope.
Yeah, oh
I
yeah.
I tied it to my seat. to
I
the
actually
pedal.
used dog chains at one time to
Yeah.
chain the
Oh, my
darn
goodness.
bass drum to the throne so
Yeah.
that if I kicked it too hard, it wouldn't go flying.
Wow. And so you were the lunch guy, huh? You always brought the chicken?
Did I bring the chicken?
Yeah.
You always ate the chicken.
I don't think I ate it before.
Yes, you did.
Before, okay.
Down in Harrington, we played the fair one year.
Well,
Remember
that's,
that? Remember that? Wait a minute.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, I
And you
remember
could
that.
smell all this chicken cooking there on that barbecue, and there was a weird smell in the air. Now, I'm a gas station guy, so I know all about kerosenes and oils and all. I'm like, man, there's something weird here. So we go get the chicken, right? They were cooking it with kerosene. Whoa! You should have. Oh, we were smoking. I said, how the hell are they going to sell this?
They had a fire going with
Yeah.
kerosene. and
Kerosene.
chicken.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I had a big, horrible.
Downstate.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Any port in a storm, huh?
Diesel
We got to
fuel.
cook it in something.
That was horrible.
That's worse than the Army.
Kerosene.
Yeah.
They did some really bad things in the Army.
That's for sure.
It was well done. I love it. I love it. So you guys, you know, back with the reel-to-reels, it's just an amazing, amazing life that you had. And Delaware is really grateful that, you know, you hung in there, you know, you made the difference. And everybody still knows Wildwood Twist, and they don't associate it with anybody out of Wildwood. You know, it's you guys. Any other questions from?
Yeah, there were bars with go-go girls in them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where was that?
I got the best story of all. We had go-go girls, and then they passed a bill where you could go topless. And this one girl, she had nothing. And I always used to kid her because she hated my drum beats. And how could you mess up Batman?
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. Because she couldn't dance. If you can't dance a Batman on a pole, you got a problem. I don't know what I said to her, but a year later, we're playing in a go-go bar, and she shows up. And boy, she got a set on her. She got and you still stink.
This is getting cut off the tape.
Well, it's true.
No, that's
Well, you
fine.
know, there was I don't know if you remember Jay Pierce or not. But
Oh,
he
yeah.
had a Jay
player.
Jay Pierce
Jay
had,
Pierce and the J-Notes.
you're right, but he also had a bar.
Yeah.
It was down in
Yep.
Jefferson Farms.
He hired us.
We
the
played- we
Jefferson
used to
Inn.
play
And
there
that
all
was
the
a strip
time.
joint.
The
That was a
Jefferson Inn.
topless.
Girl tried to kill me in there with
Yeah.
a broken bottle.
Yeah,
What happened to the guy that passed out, but he was dead?
he was dead.
He was dead.
Still is.
We were playing the club and this guy thought he was drunk and we thought he was drunk, fell on the stage. Dave said, just let him stay.
Let him sleep.
He's just drunk. And the next day we found out he was dead.
The music killed him.
So they said, did you guys know he was dead? We said, no.
But he wasn't bothering us. So.
No, he wasn't bothered.
He wasn't a nasty drunk.
Wow.
Died with a smile on his face.
There you go. There you go. Well, I see you now have CDs available as we progress down the table. Yeah, we've got the 45s and the CDs. Are they for sale?
No.
Tell her, John.
Actually, we found an old bunch of open reels. And these are the master reels from the days that we were in the studio.
Right.
And since, you know, it's really hard to get these transcribed these days, so I did it and I put what was on the reels onto CDs so everybody could have it. And you're more than welcome to have one.
Oh, we
And there's songs that we never
Old songs.
published
I have to hear them.
Oh,
on it, so I thought, well, that would be kind of cool to bring them back.
yeah, absolutely.
You've got two right there, right? One with the songs finished and
Yeah,
one with all
and
the
one was
mistakes
just
in the
with the
studio.
mistakes in the studio and take two and, oh, you dubbed that, you flubbed it. You know.
Right.
That's great fun. So everybody here,
Yeah, they can
we'll get one of
enjoy that
those.
if they
Yeah,
want, or throw them away.
that's fabulous.
You take what you want.
Yeah.
We'll be, we would love to have them. We would love to
And I'll
have them.
set
That
you
was
up
Walter?
down there with stuff. I have extras of everything.
Okay. So, you guys, for the induction, you'll have about 15 minutes. We usually suggest 3 songs. What are your favorites? What are your, what's the song or a couple of songs out of your recordings that you're most
Well, we
proud
thought we'd do
about?
the first one, Wildwood Twist, and maybe blend it with another one of the records.
Right.
And the second song, we were going to do something to try and get the audience moving, like Proud Mary. And the last song, which would really get them moving, Scott does, is Old Time Rock and Roll, which
Oh,
should fit
cool.
in
Yeah.
really good.
Yes, absolutely.
You
And
guys
that-
agree with that?
Oh, yeah,
because
just count her off. Tell me the key. That's all you have to do.
to me, the later years of the Tradewinds was, we actually, today, you could call us a cover band.
Sure.
That's what we really just took the top 40 and we played them just the way they were. And of course, we would extend them a little bit, like Proud Mary would go for 15 minutes or something.
Oh, man.
But, well, when you're playing a wedding or a beef and beer, you don't let him sit down. That was our motto.
We
Yeah.
kept them on the floor.
One of the
And
bands.
our first set was always 1 hour. We didn't go on
Wow.
break.
None of those 20-minute sets
No,
that you see
no.
today.
I don't ever remember a 20-minute break.
Okay.
Carmen was a 15-minute guy.
Okay.
And he'd look at his watch.
Oh, yeah.
He let you know. Your
come on.
conversation's over. Come
was
on back and
definitely,
entertain.
No,
The man in charge.
yes, sir. When it come to that stuff, and like he said about knowing all the songs, he didn't know all the songs. If you asked him for it, he would just, yeah, and we'll get to it. And on break, we would learn the song, or he would, oh yeah.
We had a couple rules.
If we knew 2 words in a song, he'd sing it. Oh yeah.
Couple rules we had were no drinking.
Yeah, we
So
never
none of
drank.
us drank whenever we played, and, which was probably a good thing.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you were ornery enough.
Yep.
with-
Oh my God,
Without any encouragement.
Well, we took an oath in the 60s, so you're only hearing the stories that we can tell
Yeah,
you. There's a lot we can't mention, and we all swore an oath back then that we would never mention any of them.
Yeah, Carmen was like Mr. Big Brother. Of course, he had some years on us.
Yeah, he was old.
Right.
So when we were teenagers, he was in his 20s.
He was 9 years older than me,
So-
and Dave.
I always relate him to Al Santoro and the Highlighters, you
Oh
know,
my
because
God.
it's that same kind of.
No.
Well,
Al Santoro and the Highlighters were like us. It's the other way around.
oh, gotcha.
Right.
Okay, let's
We were all
redo
good
that.
friends with it.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
But you know what? We're all family.
Yeah.
That's when you got into the Tradewinds, you were either family or you became family.
That's how I got in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cousin.
Well, we were cousins when we started, and
How he got in.
I met my wife at actually at one of the first parties we played for, which was in the Deladons. So
Okay.
I married her, who was related to Carmen. So the Carmen was her cousin.
Oh, my goodness.
So then I became part of that family. So it was like hooked together, and then David and I are cousins.
Are you
So.
related to Dave?
Wow.
Yeah, it's my cousin.
Scott.
And there's Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Scott.
You're looking at a family.
How'd I get
Yeah,
in this?
absolutely.
I don't know how you got in. You
I
were,
never heard you people before Peggy called me that time.
you looked under
This is all
sax
family.
players and said Biondi. Because you were Italian.
Bob's the king of one-liners.
Is that why?
My reference to Al Santoro and the Highlighters as being someone who's a group that was like you is that they were so precision
Oh, yeah.
in their attire,
Absolutely.
just like you were. The
Yep.
tuxes, the suits, you know, the real respect. We're a band when we're professionals.
We
Yeah.
ate more breakfasts with them guys than their wives did, I think. Because we would all meet after,
The same diner.
at the,
And many times we would be playing the Hotel DuPont, and he'd be up,
Be upstairs,
we'd be down, or we'd be
flopping.
down and he'd be up. So on the breaks, we got together.
Al did a terrific job.
Yeah, he
He always did. Yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
he'd sing, he'd do everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Nice
he,
And
guy.
his band was tight. His band was really tight.
yeah, and he was
They didn't wing it.
almost as ornery as you,
He was.
Mr. Caserta.
He was.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he threw any soap in the fountain.
Nah.
I don't think he did that.
The bubble story will
Well,
go
I
on
really
and on and
didn't
on.
do that. It was Dave that did it. I just went on with it.
You walked over.
I gave you
Light of
moral
joy.
support.
Jeez.
I said, Dave, now that's not nice.
No, you didn't.
If you're going to do it right. Put the whole thing in.
You didn't do it. You're the one who thought put it in a glass so it looked like beer, and so we could dump it.
Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you remembered it. It sounds like he deserved it, and we were certainly entertained by it. Looking forward to seeing you guys on September 22nd. Thank you so much.
Hey, come to the shore of the Wild West. We're gonna have a time. Come to the shore of the Wild West. Come on, be yours mine. Come, come, come. Twisting on the seaside, twisting on the boy. Twisting on the sidewalk. Falling doors in the Wild West. Go, baby. your hands. Now clap your hands. Now clap your hands. Clap your hands. Now clap your hands.
One time I wandered not far away into a tea room one rainy day. I lost my heart there when I saw you. I found a love there I thought was true. If I ever fall in love again after you, I'd be surprised if I ever shared my hopes and my dreams after you, I'd be surprised. Hey, oh, I love you, so hold me tight now. When I kiss you, my eyes see fire now. Hold me close and thrill me so. Please tell me you'll never go. Hold me tight with delight. Will you make me feel alright? Down to the sea. Everybody going down to the seashore. Everybody going down to the seashore. Everybody going down to the seashore. Oh, that's where I wanna be, yeah. Hey, surfing in the sea in the afternoon, dancing by the light of the silver moon. If we're lucky and our money lasts, we'll stay another day and we'll have a blast. That's where I wanna be, yeah, yeah. This blue heart is so sad. You're gone, it feels so bad. The pain inside, it wants to leave. Even more, it wants to grieve. The teardrops are falling again tonight. Something in my heart that I'm trying to fight. I know you're gone, but I still cry out. Come back, please end this doubt.